When you see the whole world shaking and you feel your heart is breaking, take my hand, no hesitating. Oh, when you're tired of all you feel together, no stopping. Hold on, we're gonna make it on now. On, we're gonna the mountains to how we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Can you see the sun is shining like a new hope? Feel it rising, coming over the horizon. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains to how we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. There's no stopping.
Good evening, and we're live. This is not pre-recorded. It's February 10th, and it's 5 p.m. I'm sorry, it's 7 p.m. You can see my clock back there. It's 7 p.m. And I'm Chris Gajulo. I am a licensed referral specialist and associate broker for Realty Connect LLC. And this is my weekly podcast, Real Estate with Mr. G. I'm sorry I missed last week. I got behind on some things. I was going to rebroadcast on Tuesday, and then I got sick. And I don't have COVID, but I had a deep cough for the last few days. But I'm feeling better, and I wanted to not lose more than a week in my podcast. Okay, so I'm here, and I give you informative uh, information about the current real estate industry. Let me tell you a little bit how I work. As I said, I work for Realty Connect LLC. I'm an independent contractor. I'm a licensed referral specialist. And when you are looking for a home anywhere within the United States, it doesn't have to be where I'm located, Hampton Roads, Virginia. It could be anywhere in the United States. And you could either buy using my services or you could list a home. So when you enter your information on my website, and you'll see it right there. Okay, real estate with Mr. G.us. I use the US so you know it's nationwide. Enter your information, and then you'll be presented to you'll be invited to discuss with up to 3 top producers in that locale. All right, of that area that you want to buy or sell, and they'll send you information. You fill them out, and you decide which is the best agent for you, and then you could go about your business. So there's no extra fee for this. My a fee comes from closing out of the commission. Okay, So if you're a buyer, it doesn't cost you anything. If you're a seller, it's not costing you anything extra than what you agree to on your commission agreement with your listing agent. And you're getting the best of two worlds because you're getting an extra consultant in the picture, right? You could always talk with me, discuss with me, and I'll give you my expertise. I've been 30 plus years in the industry. I also am a licensed real estate instructor, and so I could be a benefit to you. So, with that in mind, I actually have two videos about Realty Connect. Well, actually, three. And one is from the company itself, but I did one a couple of weeks ago, which I kind of like. It puts it together really fast. So I'm going to show you that one. Okay, so I hope that puts it together in a nice little summary of what I do. And of course, contact me anytime via any of these outlets you're seeing this video. Okay, so let's go on to what we're going to discuss. And I think who's going to ask the question for today's discussion will be Nicole from Detroit. So let's hear what she has to ask.
Good day, Chris. I am ready to sell my home. Should I wait for spring to put it on the market or do it now in February? I would truly like to sell as soon as possible. Love your weekly video podcasts. All my family and friends find it very informative and entertaining. Keep it going strong.
Thank you, Nicole. That was very nice of you to say that. And spring is usually the time when people begin to look for houses, and because it's in pots, and you're expecting soon that schools will let out. This is also like for people, families, with children. Of course, if you're a family, you have children, and you like to do that moving within the summertime. So you start looking in the spring, and you kind of close it up, and then you do the big moving when the kids are off from school, and they start the new school in September. So spring and summer is really the biggest buying and selling season within the real estate industry. Typically, all right. It doesn't mean people are not buying homes in January, February, or in December. But in the past, it has been the brunt of all the sales have been that time. So some people are saying, well, I'll wait to when it gets into at least March, April to list my home. Why put on the market now? Maybe there's not a lot of people looking. Well, let's look at our file for today. And let's go. All right, so don't wait to spring to sell your house. As you think about the year ahead, one of your big goals may be moving. But how do you know when to make a move? While spring is usually the peak home buying season, you don't actually need to wait until spring to sell. And here's why. Now, There's a little controversy right now. It says take advantage of lower mortgage rates. So last October, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate peaked at 7.79%. In January, they hit the lowest level since May. That means you may not feel as locked in your current mortgage rate right now. That downward trend in rates has made moving more affordable than it was a few months ago. Now, this is really geared towards the seller because the biggest problem we've had in the real estate industry is that the reason why there aren't that many homes on the market, or one of the reasons why there aren't many homes on the market, because once that seller, right, closes on the house, their next house they're going to purchase will most likely be at a much higher mortgage rate. Okay? They might have purchased a house at 3%, and now they're dealing with a rate circling 7%. And with home prices going up, it's going to be a lot more expensive, right? You basically have two examples of when a person moves up or goes to their second house. And in the situation is one situation is a family who they might have one or two children and they're having a third. But the kids are getting bigger and they want bigger rooms. And he said, gee, it'd be nice to have a backyard pool. And so that second home will be a more expensive purchase, right? There'll be more square footage. You might have nice things like a backyard with a pool and so forth. The second batch of people who are downsizing, the older generation like myself, right? Where all the kids are grown, they're out of the house, and you say, well, if the house is not paid off, you say, why am I paying a mortgage on this big house and we're not really utilizing all the rooms? So let's downsize. So in that example, your next house, as for the home price, might be lower, but still, if you are, if you paid off your mortgage, it's not a comparison. But the thing is that it might have been, if you're in a situation where you're retired, you're on a fixed income, you really don't want to have a big mortgage payment, right, when you're retired. Hopefully, which is a nice little off ramp on this, which is a good one. If you have your house for a while and you sell it, and you build up a lot of equity, and we're going to talk about that in this article, you might either, number one, buy your second home for cash because you made so much money, or if you made a big profit when you sold your house, you could really pay down that new mortgage and have a small monthly payment. So there are other ways to work along that. So this article, which came out, this one came out the week before last, and they said, given the stabilization in rates, potential home buyers with affordability concerns have jumped off the fence back into the market. Now, at one point, mortgage rates within the last week and a half went to 7%. They dropped down a little bit to 6.92. So they're circling around 7%. Definitely not as much as 7.9%, 7.79%. So this is a good thing. But those mortgage rates are still up there. And the economy is still going strong. So the Federal Reserve hasn't raised the interest rates. They kept it steady, but if you go into spring and again the economy is surging upward, there's a chance that they may raise it. Most people are saying no. They'll probably lower interest rates, maybe in the second or third quarter, and then we'll see that falling towards the mortgage rates. All right. So there has been an uptick. I'm sorry, in the listings. Okay. We still need more, but there has been an uptick. So they're saying listing your house now will help you beat that competition, so your house stands out because it'll be much more competitive. Again, if those mortgage interest rates fall down further, which again is being predicted for maybe the second or third quarter. So the other reason here is make the most of rising home prices. Experts forecast home prices will keep going up this year. What does that mean for you? If you're ready to sell your current house and plan to buy another one, it may be a good idea to think about moving now before home prices go up more. That will give you a chance to buy your next home before it gets more expensive. So it's interesting. Like you say, I'm going to wait. I know the price is going to be at the highest point, and that's when I'll sell. Right? That's what they do in the stock market. Okay, I'm going to wait till the price of that stock goes up to the point where we don't think it's going to go much higher. And then you sell it. Okay, but you don't have to buy any more stock, right? If you have more money, you could buy it, but it's not necessary that you buy more. When you sell a house, okay, and unless you're going to move in with somebody else, or maybe you'll go to an apartment, you have to buy another house. So when I wait for the home prices to come to the very, very top, when I sell the house and buy the next house, I'm going to buy something that's up there too. So it's really a case by case scenario on how you look at it, because it gets pretty tricky. So leverage your equity, and we talked about that before. Homeowners today have tremendous amounts of equity. In fact, a recent report from CoreLogic says a homeowners with a mortgage has more than $300,000 in equity. That's a lot. Okay. So you've been waiting to sell because you were worried about home affordability. Know your equity can help with your next move. It may even cover a big part or maybe all of the down payment for your next home. Okay? So that's the reason why you should list your house now. Now, what I'm going to show you next, and this is from Housing Wire, and mortgage rates surpass 7% for the first time since December. Now, this came out, the date on this was February 5th. So today is the 10th. It did drop to about 6.92. And that's where it is currently. And again, it may change again next week. So it's floating between 6.92 and 7%. And it's something you have to keep in mind. Again, the 7 is a lot better than the 7.79, but it's still up there. And again, most experts don't see that rate going down until the second or third quarter of the year. All right. And let's close these both out. And what I'm going to do next is just show you a nice little video on, is it the right time to sell? Okay. And I believe, here it is. Okay. So that video, I believe, nicely summarizes what we just discussed. The other thing I always mention in my podcast is that on my blog site, man, un momento, por favor. Okay. And I'm showing it down here, real estate with Mr. G blog/resource-materials. You're able to download the things to consider when buying a home, the winter 2024 edition, and you could download it from the site for free. Okay, no extra cost. And these are updated quarterly. So probably around, I don't know, around March, we'll have the spring edition of this publication. Okay, and then we also have the seller version of that. Things to consider when selling your house, the winter 2024 edition, and you could download it for free. And then when you read it, it gives you some information, but you still call me or contact me and I'll help you. I'll give you a consultation, and then we'll find the best agent for you to work with you anywhere within the United States. Okay. This is very good. We're about 23 minutes, and I kind of like that. Want to keep it under 30 minutes to hold your attention. So I'm hearing from my producer, Isabella, we may have some famous artists or celebrities in the audience.
Mr. G, great news. We have celebrities in the audience. Originally from Palermo, Sicily, this couple performed their acrobatic acts at local pubs and circuses. After arriving on a boat to America, they performed their bits at local nights of Columbus in New York City and Brooklyn. As interest in twirling hats waned, the husband of the act entered a life of crime with the Corleone mob family. Ladies and gentlemen, the twirling Barzini's.
All right, I'm glad they stopped by. I think they might have been here before, but no matter what, I'm glad they stopped by. So thank you very much. That was a Super Bowl. Enjoy it. Have a great time. Hope you have a lot of good food, and you're with family and friends. I think it was, so that's the 12th, 13th. On the 14th, it's Valentine's Day. Hope you, and when I say loved ones, that your family, someone special, that's great. If not, you'll find one. All right, okay. There's someone out there who's a match for you. And if you're celebrating Christianity, it's also Ash Wednesday. So that means I have to take down my Christmas decorations. Now, this isn't Christmas decorations. I just do this for my podcast to brighten it up. So this will be here in July. Okay, I just like it that way. All right. So with that, be kind to each other, be nice to each other, and always remember the greatest power we have is the love, and the greatest gift each other. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.